In today's video, I want to share with you how to keep your attention in its source, right? How to keep your attention from going outward constantly, just aimlessly thinking, focusing on external objects, right? So that you can actually remain aware in common terms. Because I get this question quite often, Sunny, how do I remain aware throughout the day? How can I let go of thoughts throughout the day? How can I just be in this presence throughout the day? And although that's not necessarily our aim, just to constantly 24 hours just be fully aware, fully alert. However, this just naturally becomes your natural state over time as you practice this one thing that I'm going to share with you in this video. To really discuss this and get to the root of the problem, we do have to go deep. So I will warn you before going further in this video, if you're not trying to go deep, then this may not be the video for you. Okay? How to keep your attention in its source. I want to ask you, who asked this question? What projects that it is outside of awareness? What projects and raises the thought, the concern that I am not aware, or I am being troubled by what is arising? Too many thoughts. I just can't stop thinking, or too reactive. I'm too reactive, too many emotions coming up. What is this one that projects that I am not aware? Because see, if you don't take the time, if you don't pause and look at what this one is projecting, what this one really is, if you don't inquire into its nature, this voice that says, Sunny, how to always be aware. I keep going out of awareness. What am I doing wrong? How can I do this? You have to inquire, is this actually you? Is this your voice? Is this you who's truly speaking this? Is this coming from source, you? Or is this voice also just another thought that is arising, that claims to be you? This sense of self, this I thought that arises, that is attached to all these different other thoughts that says, I am not aware. I am struggling with self-inquiry. I am thinking all these other thoughts. And see, again, that's why I always say, if it goes unnoticed, you just claim this to be your voice. You claim this to be you, and you speak through it, almost like it is you. And that's what we call mind identification. It happens on a very, very subtle level, where you don't even recognize that what you are speaking is not even your true experience if you look deeply. It then becomes your experience. What you speak becomes, you speak it into existence. That is the power of thought. That is the power of belief. So this one that arises as I'm not aware, or I am being troubled by this thought, this one is the one that we're trying to catch by truly looking through self-inquiry, right? Who is this me to which this thought is occurring? And when you deeply look, right, in this way, when you take your attention away from external objects and bring it back onto the self, the one that is perceiving, you see that this me sense that was projecting all this other stuff, that was claiming to be troubled or suffering, that is what vanishes. And all that really remains is attention back in its source, just subsiding, not focused on something, but just self-aware, you can say. And that is what we call attention staying in its source, mind staying in its source. Whereas even in the moment you say, okay, but I keep falling out of it. Is that your voice? Is that not also just another thought that arose and you claimed its identity? You identified with it instantly and spoke that to be your voice. So again, let's just say you're here and you're truly just present, fully aware. Attention is here in its source. Awareness on awareness, awareness of awareness. And now you're saying, but 5 minutes later, I just fall out of it, right? It's so hard to keep it. It's because again and again, you fall into identification with the temporary phenomena, the temporary sense of self, which is itself a thought that arises and then subsides, arises and then subsides. And that is why we have such a difficult time to maintain the level of awareness, because we are identified with the thought that arises as I. Whereas what you all actually are is always present. No? Were you not there to experience no thought, and then thought arising, and then no thought again? Are you not always present? Without you, can even the sense of I am not aware, can even that be perceived? Or does that perception, does that thought itself require you to be aware of it for it to exist? And that is what you have to start to look at. When this thought arises that I am no longer aware, or I am thinking, or I just was completely asleep for, consciously asleep for 3 hours and I was just doing, working on autopilot. Is there not even an awareness of that? So recognize, where are you truly perceiving from? Are you merely that which is witnessed to pass? Is that your true identity? Or are you that which is witnessing even the 3 hours of unconscious behavior? Did you not just watch that from your true seat of perception? So you are always as you are, present, aware. What happens is that you temporarily fall into identification again and again and again with temporary phenomena, aka thought, aka mind. And this is the habit that, and again, this all it is, just a habit. This is the habit that we have to now just become aware of, because merely by becoming aware of it in those moments where you identify with it, it starts to lose its hold over you. The identification with this I thought starts to loosen up. Right now, it's like, still blended in. Your sense of self is blended in with this mind, with this I thought. And over time, by you becoming aware of it again and again, as this, you say, so, like, again, I've fallen out of it. In that moment, stop. In that moment, pause and recognize that itself is not your voice. It is just a voice that arose. It is just a thought. Don't identify with it. Be the observer of it. Witness it also pass. And in that moment, become aware of this. And little by little, that sense of self will no longer be so mixed up with mind, with thought. And you yourself will start to gain your freedom back, your natural state of awareness. Being as you are, not being troubled by all of this mind. What you are is never troubled by mind. Only the mental identity that you take on is troubled by mind. Mind can only trouble mind. Mind cannot touch what you actually are. You simply are aware of mind. You simply are aware of all that you are aware of while being unaffected by it, untouched by it, unobstructed by it. So recognize your true position from which you are looking, and don't identify with what you are looking at or perceiving. Okay? Hope this helped. This practice will continue to keep your attention in its source and help you again and again deepen your sense of self from mind to presence, and also stay as you are. Recognize your true position. Okay? If this was helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. If you want to shift from mind to presence, right? Shift to higher consciousness and create the life you truly want to live, consider my coaching below. Apply for a free consult, and we'll see if it's right for you. Other than that, again, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.